So, but every 4 years, everybody going out there. Not everybody, but you know, a lot of people going out there to vote, looking for something different. Hey, that's what's they call it? The true definition of
insanity. Hey, that's spiritual. And I also was thinking about that because they just had that No Kings protest, right? So now they don't even know it, but you really now are starting to see what democracy is really about. It's an idea that you don't have a king, that you are the ones who make the decisions, but you ain't. But there's kings ruling over you, even though they don't have the title of king.
Yeah, your new king is going to be the AI.
That's it.
It's going to be the world government.
That's it.
That's administered by AI governments. So now you can no longer say we have kings. It's going to be through an algorithm to say, oh, this AI is smarter than everybody, so it's going to give equal shake. Everybody's going to get a fair shake in this new system that's being set up. That's the gimmick. To draw you in.
That's it.
Because really it's more dominant, it's more control. Okay?
It gives them the maximum level of deception. AI will give them the maximum level of deception.
Hey, because you could ask one thing one day and go back the same day and ask them, and it'll give you something else.
Something different.
So basically they control, you know, the algorithms of it. And eventually what's going to do is going to bring total control back to the hands of the elite.
That's it. That's it. That's it. Artificial.
Artificial.
Yeah, because you know that's one of his powers. That's one of his powers, deception, his fourth tongue.
Yep.
You know? But what it say in Revelation, to deceive the nation.
That's it.
Well, he gonna be loose for their little seeds, and we're in their little seeds. Then what he doing? He deceiving the nation.
Yeah, and the chief people talking about Russia ain't doing what America's doing.
See,
China ain't doing what America's doing.
They all on the same thing.
Iran ain't doing it. Definitely ain't doing what America. But the scriptures say different.
Yeah.
The Lord said that the nations of the earth, the rulers of the earth, have drunk of the wine of the fornication, and then they caused the rest of their people to follow along. That's what you got. Hooters and Burger King and McDonald's and all that shit in China. With Chinese Nike in a hut. Come on, man.
They wear suits. They have the skyscrapers.
Yeah, they got the bells, Mookie. The tie.
They got the electric cars. They all have AI. They're all moving towards that system. And the scamdemic, they all got machinations. They all created their own machinations. So who is really behind the scenes doing all that? All right, with the small hats, with Amalek. They're the ones that's pushing forward this agenda behind the scenes. Are funding both sides. Okay.
And now if BRICS and Russia and them ain't moving in the direction that America is, why didn't they just, okay, you know what, we're going to print, or we're going to
new currency,
silver and gold, and that's what we're going to check. Get this digital system, let's just do silver and gold. Why they ain't going that direction? Why are all the nations of the earth going digital?
Right, exactly. Because the elites, CBDC, the central bank digital currency.
Yeah, because it's 134 nations that are going in the digital direction.
That's it. And then I was looking up the International Monetary Fund. It's like 100 and let me look at it again because I want to get an exact number, because that has a lot to do with the global currency as well, the International Monetary Fund. Just like with the Mickey, with the Crown 19, the World Health Organization was over that then made a worldwide pandemic. So you have leaders over Putin and Trump. You know what I'm saying? You got international laws. You know, which the elites control that. The elites control the printing of the money. They control which way the economies are going to go throughout the world.
Yeah, and then also, you know, when they get these major nations to all go digital, let's say you have some nations out there that don't want to go digital, guess what? They're not going to be able to partake in the goodies of America. They're not going to be able to sell their goods because they don't want to sell it. They don't want to go digital. Guess what? You're going to be cut out the grid. So that means that they're being pushed into a corner to partake. That's why it says that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, you know, of the beast.
That's it.
Pretty much.
That's it. Hey, this is from Google AI Overview. The acronym IMF, International Monetary Fund, a global organization that works to foster international monetary cooperation.
Well, basically, if you don't want to cooperate, they'll send in their goons. They'll send in the economic hitmen. who controls the IMF? That's the small hats.
Yep.
The international bankers, they control the IMF. And they're making sure basically that all nations come under that one system, or that global system of, SWIFT system, or in this case, it's going to be that the digital system.
Yep.
And if you don't want to get on that system, like Iran, right? Iran doesn't have a central bank.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? They're going to overthrow you. They're going to they're going to do a regime change.
Yep.
And put in a puppet that's going to go along with the deal.
That's it.
That's what the IMF does.
Yep. And they just had a cyber attack on Iran's bank over there. Yep. They just did a cyber attack on their banks over there.
And it's called CBDC, Central Bank Digital Currency.
That's it.
Because they want to centralize everything.
Everything's
so
centralized.
That once it's all online, you may have your individuality now, but once it's online, guess what? It's all going to be centralized.
Yep.
And it's going to be all controlled by the bank.
Everything's going to flow to that one bank.
That's it.
That's it. It says the purpose of the International Monetary Fund. It says it aims to promote global monetary cooperation, secure financial stability, facilitate international trade, and reduce poverty. Yeah, right. Yeah, okay.
Well, you know why? Because they're going to give that UBI, Universal Basic Income.
That's it.
So if you want to partake in the system, you got to take,
the
device
that
they're going to implant in you.
That
that's right. In order for you to partake in the system.
That's
it.
Yeah,
the IMF, what do? They give out loans to countries.
Yep. For what?
This organization is so big to give loans to actual countries.
Yeah.
And they'll give you a loan that you're not going to be able to pay back.
Boom.
What is the collateral? The land and the people.
The
resources. So what's going to happen now? They're going to come in, we're going to have to default. You have to bring in this new system. We'll wipe everything clean. Now you have to bring in a new system. Now you have to chip your population. That's what they've been doing.
And most people are going to go for it. Why? Because they're going to want their debt wiped out.
Yep.
Because people right now are wiped out. People crying and complaining how they get 3 bags of groceries, paying $300, $400, $500. You know? And I'm like, damn, you got that kind of money to spend on groceries? All right, I hear you. You know, but nevertheless, that's not comfortable for them because it's cutting more and more into their savings.
Yep.
And that's why a lot more, and it's mostly Edomites crying and complaining. Because Jake been dealing with that shit. You know, been dealing with the hardships of economic hardship.
It's normal for us.
But Esau ain't used to that. They're not built like that because they never had to experience anything like that.
Yep. Hey, it says, picking back up, the IMF provides financial assistance to countries facing economic crisis.
See? So they come in, they actually start the crisis, and then they come in with a solution.
Yep.
Order out chaos. Order through chaos.
Yep.
Here's this law. I know you in a bind. Just like when they shut down the economy, what happened? They gave everybody loans.
Stimulus checks.
They gave, you could get all type of money.
PPE loans.
The PPE loans, right? But you got to pay that shit back.
Yeah.
The SBA, they gave businesses that had to shut down by the order of the government, right? They gave them all type of money. But guess what? That money, you got to pay that money back with interest.
Yeah, and you got to.
And you're not going to be able to pay it back.
Yep.
So when did they come in? They come in there, they'll close your business down. They'll absorb all your resources.
Yep. Hey, I was gonna say, because during the pandemic, that's when they was giving out, because that's when Trump was in office, and that's when they was giving out some stimulus packages, right? And you had people getting PPE loans, and then you had people getting personal business grants. Right. A lot of people got those confused. You don't gotta pay the grants back, but you gotta pay those loans back. So everybody thought it was all the same. Because a lot of people that was getting those grants were Edomites, you know. But Jake was the one getting those loans, man, and thinking that they was all, we set, you know, we good. We opened up. A lot of them took the money and blew it, didn't open up no business or nothing like that, you know.
Yeah, so, it's all one big scheme to lose.
That's it.
To bring you to bring the world economy to your knees, especially America. So when they start to roll off this system, you're more inclined to take it because you have no other choice.
Yep.
Okay, the inflation with all that money that they pump into the economy, what did that do? That created inflation. What we're experiencing now. That's why your groceries are higher now. That's why energy is higher now. That's why everything costs more because you have a lot more dollars circulating. All right, in the economy, which devalues the actual currency. Okay?
And these bankers, they understand slavery through debt. Because they have the scriptures. You know, they know what went down in Egypt. They know how things got bad. They wasted their money. They had to give what? Their lands. You know, they had to give, their cattle, horses and all that, whatever they had. And eventually they had to give their land and themselves.
That's it.
So that brings you to total debt slavery.
That's it.
You know, and they understand that. So they understand that when you put somebody in debt slavery and they're indebted to you, they have to, you know, set up a program for them to be able to pay that loan off. And you won't be able to pay it off. So what's the next step? Making them eternal slaves. And that was through the kwai, which is the print. The oil, it's like the imprint, the print in Leviticus 19, but also the oil. And that gave you like the oil was what gave you or made you a servant for life.
Servant for life.
They understand that.
That's it. That's it. So
I got that precept just to back up.
Okay, there's a little bit more here. It's one key point. I'm gonna finish it, and then you got it, bro. It says 2 more points. So this is some key functions. It says the IMF provides financial assistance to countries facing.
Just real quick.
Go ahead.
We explaining it because Jake don't know this information.
No, Jake don't know this.
Jake don't know what the IMF is. They don't know why. They don't know how they're being brought into captivity.
Nope.
Through this debt slavery. And they in the wicked elite, they do it very vaguely. They do it little by little, gradualism. They bait you in with all the goodies.
That's it.
With all the access to credit. Okay, with the so-called freedoms, right? While they continue, they take away your rights little by little, year by year, year by year. You got it.
So it says the IMF functions financial assistance to countries facing economic crisis, offers policy advice, conducts surveillance of national and global economies. The headquarters, the IMF is headquartered in Washington, D.C. The headquarters for IMF is in Washington, D.C.
Wait a minute, isn't that a worldwide thing? You know? Just like the United Nations is on the shores of America.
That's it.
Why? Because America is going to lead the world into the so-called New World Order. And this is the place where the microchip and the MOTB is going to be pushed to the world. They set this place up. Even I think it was what's his dude's name? In Lucifer 2000, Millennium 2000. You had Jordan Maxwell and you had Anthony Hilder. Even he said that America is a great patch. You know, because you got to think of it. You jumping into the water, you got a catapult, right? Or one of a diving board.
Diving board.
Right? Then that diving board would be America.
You know?
And America is a catapult or the diving board for the New World Order.
That's it. That's it.
And that's why, what did they do? What currency is running the world? The U.S. dollar. When did that happen? Going back to 1913 when they set up the IRS. You know, the Federal Reserve System. And that Federal Reserve System put the whole world into debt because it was created in 1913, but by the time World War II came, they took precedence over the whole thing. 1944. Right? And with the agreement, they took over everything monetary. So everybody had to trade in the U.S. dollar.
They gave them World War II, gave them the dollar the dominance. That's it. The last point, going to the number of countries, right, in the IMF. It is comprised of 189 member countries who contribute to its funding and participate in the decision making.
And they don't participate in the decision making. That's a show. That's a front. The real individuals that participate in the decision making are the elite bankers. They're the ones who tell countries what to do and what not to do. Okay, they're the behind the scenes pushing everything forward. They're the agenda setters. They're the trend setters. Why do you think all these nations are moving towards the CBDC system?
Right, and then when you have the WEF, the World Economic Forum, and you have Davos, the meeting at Davos, you have the Bilderberg meeting. Those are all getting their marching orders from the bankers. So whatever policies they're pushing out there is for the bankers. It's no coincidence that back in the 90s, right, you had this interview with Alex Jones Alex Jones and Aaron Russo, and he said that he had that meeting with Nick Rockefeller, and they told him that the plans for the future was to have everyone Michael C.
That's it.
What's going on right now?
Yep.
The same exact thing that they spoke about back then. So who's running all these things and making the policies? The bankers.
Yep. And it's taking place.
That's it.
Yep. Everything is falling into place to what prophecy been fulfilled.
That's it.
Precept. Yep. Yeah, this is Proverbs 22:7.
And you can't deny it no more.
Yep.
You can't hide it or you can't deny it.
Nowhere to run to.
No.
Nowhere to hide.
Yeah, and the Lord gave giving the prophet the spirit to provide it. Through what? Through this word.
Right.
Enlighten them with the understanding of what's going on.
That's right. And our job is to tell the people whether they will hear or forbear.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if they want to hear it or not.
What the scripture say? Watch trim thy way to seek love.
That's it.
That's what a nigga trying to do.
Yeah.
All right, trim their ways to seek love of the world. They don't want to bring it off as this. No, the Lord said, warn them, tell them of me.
Yeah.
You know, give them warning from me. You can't sugarcoat that.
Spare not.
Yeah. Yep. So when you start spurring, they put a little leaven the whole lump. So you spur a little bit, then they give Jacob a fault so they can go back to their old ways, so to speak.
Right, you can't give Jake no leeway.
No, you can't.
What'd you say? Give him an inch.
Take him
him
out.
You know, you gotta confine Jake.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like almost like a submit. You gotta submit Jake with his word. Jake can't do nothing but all right, I buy now.
Hey, that's the yoke.
oh yeah.
Hey, that's the yoke of discipline. That a lot of Jake, the yoke of discipline that Jake I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
Because that's too much. You know, this wisdom, knowledge, understanding. The scriptures.
And that's what the word does. What? It stabilizes.
That's it.
It cements you in place.
That's it.
You got it.
Oh, well, like the straight way, right?
Yeah.
STRAIT.
Yeah.
Right, you have like a straight jacket, right?
Yeah.
And the straight jacket is to keep the individual that's crazy
Confined.
from hurting himself,
Yeah.
from doing things that he's not supposed to. So the scriptures, wisdom, knowledge, understanding is the straight jacket
Yo.
to keep Jake on that straight and narrow.
Yeah, and then after a while, they calm down
Yep,
and
that's
submit.
it.
Like, I can't do nothing because they finally realize.
Because you can't move.
You
You
can't,
you can move around, you just hurt yourself.
The more you struggle, the
That's
You
right.
can scream
Right.
loud as you want, nobody's
Yeah.
gonna come save you.
Yeah.
So
You
calm your
struggle.
ass down. Then they're like the calmest person ever.
Yep.
Hey, how you doing? You good?
That's right.
That was the perfect nervous.
Done. Yep, that's it.
You got it, Ed.
Oh, is it like,
Are you good? I'm good.
Proverbs 22:7. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender.
Yep. And who's the lender? The elites control the flow of the money, you know? And Jake is the borrower, man. Jakes are the #1 consumers in the world.
Yeah.
And that's why they have to keep us in that state of oblivion, like I say, not knowing about any of these international organizations. The only thing Jake know about is the NFL, the NBA, the NHL, and the MLB.
And Diddy.
And Diddy.
Fried chicken and Hennessy.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's it. Was they clone Tyrone?
Yeah,
You know?
send the chicken.
They can send the chicken.
But that's how you can identify who the Israelites are.
Yeah.
It all goes back to the curse.
Yup.
Deuteronomy 28:15 on down, give you to identify who is who.
Yup.
Because who's gonna be in the low condition? Who's gonna be subject to payment? Who the borrower? Who the lender? Come on. You got. I know you got that precept right now.
You had something, bro?
That was it.
This is 1 John 4:5 in the NLT. Those people belong to this world, so they speak for the world's viewpoint.
Yeah, those people belong to the world, so they speak from a worldly view.
Yeah.
All right, why? Because they haven't got their mind with Babylon. You know, that's why you got these so-called pastors and preachers. They're not preaching the coming of the Lord. They're not warning our people in prophecy. They still speaking on, pay your tithes. The Lord gonna bless you this year. You know, the Lord gonna give you the husband you always wanted. You this
Prosperity.
and that. Prosperity. Yeah, prosperity. They not preaching the coming of the Lord. They're not warning to tell our people to come to greater dreadful day. You know what I mean? They're not warning our people of Jacob's trouble. They're not putting them on game about the MOTV. You see? They of the world perspective. All right? That's why Jake have itchy ear. They don't want to hear them. Get your life right because the Lord coming. If you don't, he going to destroy you. A nigga don't want to hear that.
Yeah. Speaking to me smooth things.
Yeah, that's all a nigga want.
Yeah.
But we don't care. All right? We're going to tell you what the Lord have said, and that's it.
Yeah.
It said those people belong to this world, so they speak from the world's viewpoint.
And now you got Israelite, you know, you got Israelites in that same manner. You know, IUIC, they not speaking of the Lord, but that's of the world.
Oh, like Chief Ephraim, right? He said he tried to get niggas off dope. That's of the world, man.
Yeah.
You know, they got actual.
Like you gonna be a psychiatrist
programs,
or fucking,
you know, they got actual programs for niggas to try to get them off dope.
Right, right.
Have any of those programs since the creation, have they been successful?
Nah.
We're not supposed to do. Hey, the scriptures will get you off. The understanding will get you off dope. Not you with programs giving, you know, baked chickens and shit.
Yeah.
That's what them 503 charters, man. Our job is just to push the message of Yahweh Shema Shah.
Yeah, cause this word do the healing.
That's it.
How we get out here? Who's here? This word changed us.
If your ass can't get off dope and you heard this word, well, it's not for you, man.
That's it.
You allowed it to be destroyed.
The Lord got you.
Okay? So the word can actually heal you. It can raise the dead. That's what it has done. With our dead bodies shall lie in the great city.